And welcome back here on Live Now from Fox, 2:36 on the East Coast and 11:36 on the West Coast. My name is Josh Breslow, and I'm here to bring you all of your top stories from across the country and across the world. You are looking live right now at our X-RAD radar system, where you can see Hurricane Hilary. We do continue to track the storm right here, currently a Category 3. Now, we are tracking it alongside our friends over at Fox Weather. I do want to bring in Michael Estime, a meteorologist there, to talk more about the current track for the storm. Michael, thank you so much for being here. It looks like it might have been downgraded a little bit again as far as the winds go.
You know, Josh, you nailed it. Thank goodness. And again, this is all within our forecast. We're expecting for Hilary to continue to weaken as it approaches the United States and Mexico borderline, especially tomorrow night into early on Monday morning. Right now, though, as you said, the National Hurricane Center, they're based in Coral Gables, Florida, just came out with their 2 o'clock advisory about 37 minutes ago. And in so doing, winds have been downgraded from 125 miles per hour down to 115 miles per hour. Still a Category 3 storm. You can see where Cabo San Lucas is, of course, a very popular vacation destination. Beautiful arches out that way. The water is rough down that way, to say the very least. Here's the track of Hilary. Here's where it's going, and here's when you can expect it in parts of SoCal. So by tomorrow morning, we're expecting our storm here to get very close to Baja California, perhaps making landfall toward what is known as Baja Tortuga. That's this little point right here with winds at 80 miles per hour. Still a Category 1 storm. Unfortunately, the National Weather Service saying that we could see life-threatening rain and wind right here. So we're going to watch that very carefully and see what those reports look like early tomorrow morning. Otherwise, as it continues its race up toward the north, you can see that by tomorrow evening, Sunday evening, winds down to 60 miles per hour. That would be a high-end tropical storm that would then make landfall towards San Diego before pushing onshore. Here's what our model looks like. The rain is already starting. We have flood warnings for parts of the Imperial Valley in California. As we speak, roads are already being closed because of what we've seen with debris flowing over some roads down toward Imperial County. And notice that by 5 o'clock, we're completely swamped with the rain. That's tonight into early tomorrow morning. By tomorrow afternoon, note the timestamp, upper left-hand corner, this is Pacific time. By 11 a.m., we are stuck in a rut of rain from Bakersfield to LA down to San Diego. The yellows and oranges and reds indicating the moderate and at times heavy rain that we're anticipating, especially on what we call the windward side of the mountain, down around, say, just east of San Diego is where we're expecting there to be quite a bit of rain. You can see it right here, and that is known as the penicular range. It's the division between the desert and where things are a little bit more moist. But this is going to be an area and a zone that we watch very carefully for some really heavy rain. Josh, we're talking upwards of, say, 6 to 12 inches of rain. Unfortunately, all of that rain then runs through what are called the concrete washes and the stormwater channels there in SoCal. This could be a huge issue, especially towards San Diego and then just outside of LA, where we're anticipating between 3 to 5 inches of rain with locally heavier amounts between 5 to 8 and perhaps even 8 to 12 inches. And you can see right there in the Inland Empire of San Diego where we'd be expecting that. Josh, to put this into perspective for you in terms of the type of rain that we're anticipating, in places like Death Valley, California, this is equivalent to receiving 2 to 3 years worth of rain in only a 48 to 72 hour period. A 2 to 3 years worth of rain. It's a ton of rain. Unfortunately, I think that flooding is going to be an issue. 21 million Americans under tropical storm warnings. That does include San Diego and LA. We'll, of course, keep a very close eye on it as the storm makes landfall in the United States by late weekend and early into the day on Monday morning. Josh?
Yeah, very interesting situation, because we know that just yesterday the first ever tropical storm watch was issued there for Southern California, which I think speaks to the magnitude there of the situation. Michael, did you ever think that you'd be tracking a storm that is coming this close to California and have it be a tropical system like this one?
You know, it's so interesting that you said that because here at Fox Weather, we have meteorologists from literally all over the country. We have meteorologist Craig Herrera right now that is situated in San Diego. He was a meteorologist in San Diego for at least, over half a decade. And I asked him that same exact question. Have you ever seen anything like this in your experience? And he told me absolutely not. He's covered rock slides, landslides, mudslides, atmospheric river events, all kinds of flooding events, but nothing like this where we have tropical storm warnings now for the second largest city in the United States, LA, and then of course the second largest city in the state of California, that being San Diego. So to answer your question, no, this is unprecedented in California, Josh. It's been an unprecedented year. You'll remember earlier in the year we had 12 atmospheric rivers. And then we had a historic snowpack. We're talking hundreds of inches of snow. And then this, our hurricane that'll be a tropical storm, Hilary, by the time it makes landfall, very unprecedented, and it just means that now is the time in places like San Diego. Now's the time to prepare. I was just on the phone with my aunt in San Diego about an hour and a half ago or so, and she was just saying, listen, people are at the grocery store, they're getting their, their water, their food, the bread, milk, and eggs sort of scenario. We know that, we know all about that in the Southeast when we start to mention snowflakes. They're doing the same thing in parts of SoCal just to get ready in preparation for what is going to be a challenging 48 to 72 hours ahead.
All right, Michael Estime there, meteorologist with Fox Weather. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. I know you all are very busy, so we appreciate you taking the time.
Absolutely, anytime. We'll check in with you again here soon, Josh.
All right, everybody, it is 2:43 over on the East Coast and 11:43 on the West Coast. We mentioned a bit earlier that officials there in LA County have been holding news briefings to provide the latest information here. I do want to play their latest briefing, live, raw, and unfiltered.